With the summer just around the corner, I will in this video start talking about the most basic things you need to know if you are planning to explore Europe by train in 2023. Is Interrail always the best choice, or can you do it cheaper on just buying single tickets? Do you need seat reservations? Where could you get them? And what's it like in general to travel Europe by train? In this video we will cover all of the most valuable tips, as well as to recommend some places I think deserves your attention along the way. Hi everyone and welcome to Ponyo and Poolshark. If you're new to this channel, we produce all sorts of travel related content such as city guides, info videos like this one, and also cruise related content and travel vlogs. So stick around to this channel, subscribe and hit that like button so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. My name is Fredrik and I have been working on and off the rail industry in Sweden for over 20 years, with the past 5 years as a contract worker on the night trains here in Sweden. Since I'm also terrified of flying, I have been traveling Europe by train myself for more or less my entire life, so I guess it's pretty fair to call myself somewhat of an expert. Also, I would like to start off by saying that I have an upcoming summer with Interrail. I'm gonna do 1 month traveling around Europe, so there will be so much upcoming content about trains and how it is to travel in Europe by train. So I would like to know in the comment section if there is something specific that you want me to cover in my upcoming travels. Is there even a place where you think I should visit? Write it all down in the comment section, and look forward a lot to all the upcoming travel related content coming up in the future. Interrail is a ticket or pass that you purchase that allows you to travel by train in 33 countries in Europe as much as you want during your chosen period. It comes in all sorts of styles, from 4 to 15 travel days within 1 to 2 months to a 15 to 19 days continuously in both first and second class. If you live in Europe, you can qualify for the Interrail and can buy your pass at the interrail.eu. And if you live outside Europe, you should visit Eurail.com. These sites are more or less exactly the same in terms of presentation and offers, except the pass itself, the choice to buy seat reservations, as well as recommending possible routes or plans to follow up on, such as the cheapest city in Europe to the best of Italy. Traveling Europe by train is by far, in my opinion, the best way to explore Europe, especially if you plan to visit the overcrowded cities in Europe like London, Paris and Berlin. Traveling by car can more or less be next to impossible, making it hard to reach the city centers in a very different way from America, for instance. But arriving by train will always drop you off in the most central parts of any city. Obviously, exploring the countryside such as Toscana or Provence might be a bit more tricky without your car, but most local train services and buses are also included in your pass, so although demanding a bit more planning, is still much doable. You can also obviously rent a car locally if you would like to head off into the countryside. Also, just transporting yourself through some of the world's most amazing scenery outside your window while relaxing with a book or a drink in the train's restaurant is a dream holiday in itself, in my opinion. There is just no better way to travel. But traveling Europe by train takes a lot of planning to be perfect. And the more time and effort you put ahead of your journey planning, the more you will get out of it. My pro tip is to start plan your trip first before buying your pass. First of all, that will make it much easier to choose which pass that suits you best, but it will also show you if the pass is actually the best and cheapest way to travel. You see, if you can plan your holiday long time in advance, it can actually turn out so much cheaper to buy just single tickets. I'll give you an example. Let's say that I'm thinking of buying a 7 days travel pass within 1 month in second class for 352 euros. That comes down to around 50 euros a day. On my first day, on the 17th of August, I would like to travel from Hamburg to Munich. However, there is a train running at 12:01 costing only 37.90. If I instead, however, planning just some weeks ahead in June and would like to do the same ride in the same train, it's now 55.90 and the train before as much as 120 euro. You see, the reason I haven't bought Interrail in such a long time as I have is simply because I've been booking so long in advance that buying single tickets have been so much cheaper. Another smart tip is to try and travel as far as you possibly can in a day to get more value out of your pass, but also to cut down on travel days. Let's say, for instance, that you want to visit both Cologne and Düsseldorf, for instance. They are just a 21-minute train ride away from each other, or Dortmund, Essen or Duisburg for that matter. A train ride between Cologne and Düsseldorf can be as low as 2.99. So it makes all the sense not to use your pass making that journey, but to buy your ticket. The more planning you have done, the better. We would like to thank you so much for watching our content. We really put our hearts into making it, so it would mean the world to us if you hit that subscribe button, as well as to tell the YouTube algorithm to show us to more people by commenting on our videos, as well as to hit that bell button. We make all sorts of travel related content such as alternative, in-depth city guides, travel vlogs, as well as cruise and travel tips. On some trains, especially here in Sweden for instance, a seat reservation is required. My second pro tip is to always buy a seat reservation for every train journey you're making. First of all, they come at a somewhat fair price, around 5 to 8 euros, and guarantee you a seat. Even on the trains where one is not required, remember that especially during the summer month, most trains are packed with interrailers and backpackers sitting down on the floor for the entire journey. Not the nicest way to travel 6 hours if you ask me. Secondly, I would strongly recommend to buy a reservation as soon as you have planned where to travel. Like I said, some trains require one, and if you don't have one, they will throw you off at the first stop. This means that some popular routes, like between Munich and Verona for instance, will be next to impossible to ride if you haven't booked a reservation a month in advance at least. That means that traveling between Germany and Italy can be a huge pain in the ass that needs a very long detour. Also, some of the private companies where Interrail is not valid still gives you a huge discount on tickets if you have the pass. Like Eurostar for example. Let's say that you want to travel to London from Paris, Brussels or Amsterdam in somewhat 3 hours instead of taking the ferry between Dover and Calais. Eurostar tickets are very strangely priced, and buying one a long time ahead of your journey will make all the sense in the world, since tickets can vary from 50 euros up to a shocking 500 to 600 euros. That's a sad price to pay just because you didn't book ahead. Getting around by train in Europe is fairly easy, but never has traveling by train been easier than in Germany. Deutsche Bahn is by far one of Europe's most reliable companies, operating long-distance train as well as commuter and regional trains, as well as buses. This doesn't only make Germany very simple to get around, but in my opinion, Germany is also undoubtedly Europe's most underrated country, well worth taking your time to visit. From all the amazing cities like Berlin, Hamburg, Munich, Cologne, Dresden, Nuremberg and Frankfurt to fairy tale-like villages looking like straight out of a Grimm Brothers fairy tale. Did you also, by the way, know that the villages and forests surrounding the castle area were mostly the inspiration for all the Grimm Brothers fairy tales? Since Germany also is located in the middle of Europe, it's a fair place to start exploring Europe from. Northern Italy and France is in my opinion a must visit too. The Italian lakes such as Garda, Como and Maggiore are fairly northern located and can be reached within a couple of hours from the Austrian border. The Italian and French Riviera just a few more hours south. France also offers fairy tale-like villages in Strasbourg and Colmar on the border with Germany. If you went to travel up north towards Scandinavia, I think that Copenhagen, Gothenburg and Stockholm are a must-see. Snälltåget and SJ both offer night train services from Berlin and Hamburg all the way up to Stockholm non-stop. Start from here and explore the capital of Scandinavia by visiting the old town and enjoy a boat ride along Stockholm's amazing archipelago. From here there's a 3-hour ride by train towards Gothenburg, where a visit to the amusement park Liseberg is as much a must-do as trying the famous shrimp sandwich. When you get tired of Gothenburg, there is just another 3-hour by train to reach Copenhagen with its world-class atmosphere, famous cuisine and the Tivoli Gardens. Last tip is the short distance between the capitals Prague, Vienna, Bratislava and Budapest, which are just a couple of hours from each other and all deserves a visit. I know that this was just the tip of the iceberg, but as I stated earlier, I will produce a lot more content on both Interrail and traveling Europe by train in the future, so make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon to make sure not to miss any of our content. In the end, however, always remember, it is not about the destination, it is what you make of it that counts. Until next time, stay safe. Yeah.